This meeting is being recorded. Good evening, everyone. Beautiful, beautiful evening. Hello, and welcome to this week's Transformation Thursday. Thank you all for being here this evening, and I am so super excited to announce our speaker for this evening. Now, if you're ever walking down 3rd Avenue between 157th and 156th, and if you're on the downtown side, I guess is that the uptown side or the downtown side? I think it's the uptown side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're on the uptown side and you see a flash of purple, then you have come across JD Body Treats. And Body Treats truly, truly defines the location. So I'm so honored to be able to introduce to you this evening the owner of JD Body Treats, an owner of two businesses here in the Bronx, Black women-owned business in the Bronx that is dedicated to self-care and to empowerment. Miss Georgina, she will be speaking on spirituality and business. So take it away.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful introduction. I really, really am honored to be here today, and I'm so grateful that you chose me to be a part of this segment because I absolutely love what you do. And I think it's amazing that you try to connect with so many people with different spiritual backgrounds and different walks of life and different practices and businesses. And a platform like this is really needed. So thank you, Abina. I appreciate it so much. So as mentioned, my name is Georgina Janzasek. I am the CEO and founder of JD Body Treats. We are a self-care boutique here in the Bronx, New York. I opened my first location on 3rd Avenue in January of 2021, and the second one in Park Chester in June of 2021 as well.
Miss Georgina, I'm so sorry. I forgot to push the button to go live for the Instagram.
It's all good.
I said, wait a minute, something seems a little different.
I thought you meant live in general. I'm like, wait, we weren't live this whole time.
Right, that was the practice. That was the practice run.
That's all good.
Oh, okay. So
I'm gonna join the live too once you go live.
Okay. Do you see the live? Can you see the live?
Let's see.
Like I just tagged you in the live.
Okay, I see that you're live, and I see me.
I just tagged you in the live. Okay.
I just requested to join.
Okay. I don't see the okay. Okay, go live. I'm pressing view and I'm pressing go live. Oh, okay. Okay, so what do I need to do to stop that?
You might have to turn down the volume of your Instagram live.
Okay. Okay. I think we should be okay.
I think it's still making that good sound. I'm wondering if it's you. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay, and again, thank you everyone for being here as part of this week's Transformation Thursday. My name is Abina of Bronx Holistic Healing, and this is Transformation Thursday. And I'm so excited to have Miss JD Body Treats herself, Miss Georgina. Okay, technical difficulties resolved.
I believe so.
Okay. Okay, so we just roll back so you were introducing yourself.
So as mentioned before, I'm Georgina, the CEO and founder of JD Body Treats. We're a self-care boutique here in the Bronx, New York. We currently have two locations, one on 3rd Avenue and 156 in the Melrose section of the Bronx and another in Parkchester. So a lot of people who come in ask like, what is a self-care boutique? We're basically a store that sells items for the mind, body, and spirit. Originally, my brand started in 2018 as simply a skincare brand. I was concocting the common things like body butters, oils, sugar scrubs, and soaps. And then when I went looking for a retail store in 2020, and I was just reviewing like the things that my customers needed after like interacting with them for several years at pop-up shops and things like that, I felt like I was being pulled to do something much greater than just selling and making skincare, which of course is great. But I felt like I wanted to help heal people mentally and emotionally and provide a safe space in which people can feel like they're treating themselves, hence the name JD Body Treats. So we took the shift from simply being a skincare brand to being more of a overall wellness brand of the mind, body, and spirit. And then of course, self-care is like a trend now, which is absolutely amazing. So I just thought it was the perfect opportunity to introduce like a self-care boutique, especially in the neighborhood that I partially grew up in, which is the South Bronx, in which there's not many places where you can find like not just like beauty and serenity, but items that are made holistically for us, by people in the community. Because not only do we sell our own products, we sell products from other small minority businesses locally and nationally. So that's just like a brief synopsis of like what our brand is on the product side. Aside from the products we sell, we host a ton of events in collaboration with other small business owners and artists. So we have like a lot of pop-up shops. We have small business networking events. We also host open mic nights, which is being set up here behind me for tomorrow. So we have something called the Speakeasy, in which poets, artists, singers, different people of all different talented backgrounds and stuff come together to network and share their talent to the public, because we actually get pretty busy during those shows. So, we just try to do so many amazing things here that not only allows us to provide like an oasis in the midst of a place that doesn't have one, but also allows us to establish connections and give other small businesses, artists, and creatives a platform where they wouldn't have it otherwise. So, or it would be harder to come by more so. So that's pretty much it.
So, how has the reception been like for you opening up in the Bronx? Like passersby, I mean, what's their reaction been?
So what I love about passerby's reaction is that when they come in, the first thing they say is that the vibe pulled them in, and that just makes me smile. Like it literally makes my heart so happy. Um, we've been so well received. Like honestly, our first store, the 3rd Avenue store, at first I was a bit worried about the location in which I was choosing, because I did have the opportunity to go into Harlem and the Lower Manhattan, but I felt like we needed to be here. Like our communities needed healing. Our communities needed something beautiful, because like I said, I grew up here, and I would have loved to have found a place like this as a child. So, when people come into the store, we usually have repeat customers all the time. Like some of my customers know me by name. I know them by name. I know their kids. I know their daughters, their grandmothers. So for us to only have been here a year and have seen so many faces, we've had over 3,500 customers through our doors, which that's not a lot for your average like convenience store or your average supermarket, but it is a lot for a brand that has a niche like ours to only have been open a year and have, I think we're actually past about 4,000 customers at this point. And I would say about 40% of them are repeat customers till this day. So like, you know, we've seen some people 10 times, 15 times. I have like the local homeless people actually come by, they'll say hi, they'll pick up some flyers and offer to hand them out. Like, so we're really well received by the neighborhood on Third Avenue. And then Park Chester is like family. I unfortunately am not able to make it there as often as I would like, but my staff that is over there and the people who do rent space in that store, and when I was over there more often, like everyone knows each other by name. They're very, very warm and welcoming, and they look out. So, you know, we're definitely like a niche or a niche. I'm sorry, it depends on how you say it in our community. And just the brightness on people's faces when they do happen upon the stores, it fills my heart with so much joy. And when things are tough, it's like I'm constantly reminded by customers that come in, and some of them cry on my shoulder and I cry with them. When people just come in just sharing their stories, and I know that they're walking away with so much more than just your average retail experience, and they know that as well. So it really means the world to me, and I love being here.
Well, we are certainly glad that you are there. We so need as many healing spaces as we can
Thank
get
you.
in the Bronx. And yes, as a child, I was raised in the South Bronx. So yeah, definitely that would have been so helpful to have an institution, like that, when I was growing up. But it's here now. And yes, self-care is a trend, but whatever, because there could be some other trends that are happening. So if
Yes,
getting things to help you take care of yourself is a trend, I'm all for it. So
exactly.
what are some of the things that one can find in your store when they walk in?
So in terms of products for the mind, we have a variety of books. We're always buying things and making things in small quantities so that there's always something unique. So we have like self-help books, like on astrology, tarot, anxiety relief, stress relief, herbal herbal medicine, plants. We also have for the spirit, we have a lot of crystals. We have crystal candles, which is currently our bestseller that we make here in the self-care lab. We have energetically charged body butters, meaning like they're made while a certain frequency is playing and set with intentions. We have candles, we have skincare, we have massage oils, we have edible massage oils, aphrodisiac products. We have some novelty products. We even have crystal jewelry that is hand wrapped, if not by ourselves, local artisans as well. So it's just like a little bit of everything. We can hardly keep stock in the store because everything sells so fast. But like what we do have is like really great and unique items. And they're made from the heart, if not by us, our other local artisans.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And I know artisans who are listening to this will be glad to know that there's a space where if they were looking to exhibit their wares, that is a place that's here, that's local, that's, owned for us, by us. Okay, and where is the other location in Parkchester?
So it's on 1513 White Plains Road, which is between Archer and White Plains.
Sure, my
So
place. Okay.
it's on the outskirts of the actual Parkchester complexes, but it's like right near Unionport and a couple of blocks from the 6th train.
Okay, a Parkchester. Okay. All right. So I know that the kind of subtopic today is spirituality and business. So for someone like myself, with the idea of business kinds of makes me cringe, with the numbers and everything that's involved. How do you merge spirituality and business?
So it's funny because very rarely do I go live, but every time I go live or I talk to somebody, I always bring up the topic of spirituality and business. And most people who see it think of, I'm going to speak on like how to monetize on spirituality, which is a entire other subject. However, what I like to speak about is how to incorporate spirituality into your business practices. Not only to do the common things that everyone's interested in, such as like manifesting and achieving goals and having your desires fulfilled, but more so just maintaining your own self as a spiritual person. Because when you excel in business and you start to move up the ladders, it's very easy to get lost in the very tangible and financial side of things and kind of get discouraged because like you're always constantly looking at numbers and constantly comparing yourself to where you should be, or you know, whatever the case may be. So it's like sometimes you really have to pause and remember your purpose and what you are doing all of this for. And then it also touches on the fact that there's a lot of business done nowadays that is done without a purpose. Like, you know, everyone has a mission statement and a purpose on their website, but who truly is doing business for a purpose that is greater than for their own financial gain? You know what I mean? And that's the conflict that I find myself having in the years and the months leading up into my business was, how do I stay authentically me? How do I stay authentically me spiritually? How do I work in my purpose? And how do I walk in my purpose and do unto others what I feel like I am destined to do, while also making a profit and doing things in a way where this world doesn't teach you, mainly America more than anything, how to do business due to capitalism. It's like, you know, you kind of notice that most of the people who seem to get ahead are like stepping on someone's toes. So like, you know, how can I excel in business without hurting others along the way? How can I excel in business while also maintaining my authenticity and still being on my spiritual path without basically selling myself or my soul or what I'm trying to do just to get a leg up? So that's what I like to talk about in terms of business and spirituality, and a little bit of how to manifest and things like that. But some of the topics I will be addressing today is more so like how to navigate your business while maintaining your spiritual self and using it to really just be a business person.
So maintaining your integrity is important as you.
Yes, that is a perfect way of putting it.
Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to say to you, yeah, what is the answer? I mean, what is the way that you find works best for you?
So it changes. I honestly must say that the way I maintain my spiritual self while also being a businesswoman changes. It changes depending on like the current pressures I am, both in my business and physical life. So, you know, when I was just working out of my home and fulfilling online orders and staying up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, well, I also had a full-time job in a financial industry. I thought that was like a challenge, but everything was very stable and very manageable. So, you know, I had my spiritual maintenance routine. Like, you know, I had my meditations and my mantras and my manifestation journal, and I was writing things down, and everything just was kind of going on a consistent loop that was very predictable for me. So the spiritual practices I had then and the spiritual awareness I had then was very different than now, when you know, I'm taking on something as completely new, like opening up 2 retail stores and dealing with the fluctuation of the economy and retail. And now I'm a full-time entrepreneur, so there's no like guaranteed amount of income every month or 2 weeks or so. So even with my children like getting older and things changing in that sense, like all of those are contributing factors that made me realize like the things that I thought that I had down pat, suddenly I had to switch it all up. You know what I mean? So for me personally, I'll just get into my tip number 1. What works for me is reminding myself to practice gratitude. Gratitude is a word that's thrown around often. However, it is something that it's so important, because no matter how much you have or how little you have, when you find gratitude in the midst of all situations, it allows you to be very present, to be grateful for all that you do currently have, and knowing that you're in the right place at the right time, presently at all times, no matter how tough a situation may be. And realizing like, yeah, things may be tough right now, but there are also so many things that are right now. There are so many things that I can be grateful for right now. So it's like, I'll just use my children, for example. Like one of my children is a little bit of a challenge right now. A little bit is an understatement in school. So it's like, you know, when I find myself being so frustrated about his behavior, I have to remind myself, like, you know, yeah, I have a child that isn't acting the way I wish they could act. And yeah, it's affecting me in a lot of ways. However, you know, I should be grateful that my child is currently healthy and, you know, that's all I can ask for is the health of my child, because, you know, they're not even comparing other situations, but there are some situations in which people are dealing with unhealthy children, and it's a sad situation. So, you know, I have to remind myself, like, there's always something to find to be grateful for. And, you know, like say he is unhealthy, like I'm grateful that he's alive, and so many other things. So I apply those same things to business. Like, you know, maybe my sales are low this month, but I am grateful that I at least have the mindset to be able to know what I need to do next month in order to increase my sales. You know, I'm grateful for the support that I do have, whether it's a little at the time or a lot. Like I'm grateful for me even taking the initiative to start my business and really stick to it, and just so many other things. So it's just like about finding gratitude. And I notice that when I do practice gratitude and I focus on being grateful for the things that I currently have in the moment, suddenly I look around and then opportunities are pouring in. And it's just like, when I do forget, it's like the opportunities are stumped because I'm focusing on what I do have instead of giving the love and the energy and the water, I want to say, to continue to allow what I currently do have to thrive and grow.
So it's like I say, and something actually I read in one of Iyanla's Van Zant's books years ago about want what you have. You know, you want other things, but want what you have. Like, be grateful and appreciative for what's there in the moment, what you have right now. Because and I do believe gratitude flings open the doors. If you're
Yes.
content and grateful for what you have now, I definitely believe that gratitude opens up doors because you're not feeling anger or resentment. You're just allowing more of that good energy to come to you. So thank you for that. Wow. Um, so of your two stores, when did you open your second store?
So that one was open in June of 2021, 6 months after my first one. And I'm not gonna lie, like that one was opened a little bit prematurely. Even though I'd worked in retail previously, I didn't fully understand that it takes about a year to fully understand like your business in the retail environment. So when I opened the second store, I opened it off of the excitement of the first store doing so well. So it kind of just like it happened so fast, and I don't have any regrets regarding it. It definitely made things like a lot harder than I had expected it to be. But I'm just grateful for the experience. And I know that deep in my heart, regardless of how things go, I'm touching lives in two places, and that makes me happy.
So you mentioned you worked in retail. So yes, what is your background? Because I know the idea of opening a store seems so daunting. Like there's so many challenges. So yes, what is your background?
Okay, so that's extensive. So I actually started really working when I was like 14 years old. Originally, I went to the high school fashion industry. So when I was a junior high school, growing up all my life, I love sketching. And due to that, like always sketching dresses and things like that, I thought that I wanted to do fashion. So I went to the high school fashion industries. I learned how to sew. And then I realized, like, after ripping a few seams and trying to put in lining, like, fashion was not it for me. I was like, I'll leave that to the fast retailers and the couture designers, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna be up here ripping a seam for more than 2 hours. And I realized it really took a special kind of person, a special level of patience and love and passion in order to pursue that career. So during that time in my high school, although I was a troubled student in the classroom because I would get bored easily, I always had a passion, like in a hard work ethic. So I pursued internships outside of the school because they had a lot of opportunities. So I started just like buzzing around the fashion industry as an intern, doing fashion design, then project management. And then I ended up on the administrative side of things after project management. I was like, wow, I really love this. So I realized like I like the business side of things, like the paperwork and the marketing and the documents and the typing and the creating this and all of this digital stuff. And I like sitting behind my desk, but also like running around and like the chaos of finding things before a show and finding hardware and liaising between the production managers and the designers and all of that stuff. So I was just like, you know what, like some type of assistant or admin work is where it's at. So when I graduated high school, I went to school for business because I just kind of always had a business mind, but I didn't initially intend to start my own business. I just knew that getting a business degree meant that I would be on the administrative side of things in fashion. So I worked while I was in business, I actually ended up landing an administrative assistant job on Wall Street at a market research firm. And then from Wall Street, I went back into fashion, into a company called Public Relations. Oh, I'm sorry, I should not mention the companies I work for. I went into a fashion company that is like pretty well known. But anyways, when I was working there, I got my first office management position. I went from executive assistant to office manager. And then after I left that job, I ended up scoring a office management position at a private equity firm in finance with the husband of my, I don't know how to explain this. So when I first started working when I was 14, the first fashion company I worked for, the woman who I worked for remained my mentor throughout the years. And her office was actually my first corporate experience. And next to her office was her husband's office, which was in private equity. So when she remained my mentors throughout the years, like 10 years later, when she found out that I had just recently left my fashion job, her husband just so happened to be looking for an office manager. So that's when I made the switch from fashion to finance. And it was an amazing experience. Like, I never thought I'd be into finance. Private equity was definitely like not something I never thought I'd do, but office management was what I was passionate about. Like, you know, just making sure everything was running smoothly, being the contact, being IT sometimes, just really servicing. And I honestly completely skipped over the fact that while I was in college, before getting the Wall Street job, I worked in luxury retail as well. So I went from fast retail to luxury retail. And that's when I developed this concept of giving someone a brand, like experiencing a brand in which a person feels like they're treating themselves in a luxurious way. But I wanted to do it in more of an affordable sense. So long story short, when I was at my job prior to working in private equity in the fashion industry, I was kind of over being an office manager. I was like, man, like, you know, it's a great title and I'm overseeing a lot. However, in some places I noticed that the title wasn't really as respected as other titles, and it frustrated me. So that's when I it contributed to the idea of starting a business. And when I started to do research and think like, well, what business do I want to do? I just knew that I wanted a luxury brand in which people felt good when they would receive my packages. And at the same time, my children were suffering from eczema. And I was just like, well, I'm making these skincare remedies for my children, and I want to start a business that's luxurious. So maybe I could just do some research and expand the products that I'm making and start selling it. So then I started pop-up shops in 2018. I launched my business a month before I gave birth to my third child. I was just like, let me get this out of the way up and started before this baby is born, because when she's born, I'm probably gonna not do it. So I was just like, a month before I actually launched my first products at my baby shower, because I gave them away as party favors and asked for everyone's opinion. And then I got my website up and running like 3 weeks later. And then it just went up from there. Like I realized how much I loved it. Once I started doing pop-up shops, I really started to find my tribe. Like I connected with so many amazing people. Shout outs to Sip Shop Eat and Make Manifest BK, because those were like some of my first pop-up experiences. And that's where I really met a lot of my business connections to this day, like some of my friends in business, people I absolutely love, some of my bestest friends now. And that's pretty much like the very, very fast story of my background.
So I want to be like you when I grow up, because that is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. That is a super inspiring story as well. So congratulations and kudos and all of that. You have earned all of it. And you said luxury, and I kind of remember like when the first time, I think when I came to your shop, that was something that did kind of strike me. First, the purple. I mean, you are just unapologetically purple, and I love that. I love the boldness of that, and I did feel very comfortable there. So I can definitely see where your passion, just infused the walls of your shop. So thank you again for bringing this to us. So in your shop, are there some products that you make yourself?
Yes. So in my shop, there's a variety of different products. We have like a lab in here, which is also like our event space. Thank you so much. Also our event space. So like when we're not using it for events, we just pull out a bunch of tables and we pull the stuff out of the lab, and we just like be back here making everything.
Okay, so I see we have two guests here. Samantha, hello Samantha, and Miss Johnson. Hello Miss Johnson. Thank you for joining. Do you have any comments, or would you like to introduce yourself at this time?
Well, peace, love, and light. It's
Hey
nice to see
Samantha.
you, Cabinet.
Hi Samantha.
So with the
And
extra,
mhm.
I did have a comment, but she can introduce herself too.
Hello,
Oh,
I'm Azalea. It's nice to see you again, both of you actually. I went to your shop about a year ago,
Nice.
during the I think no, sorry, 2 years ago during the pandemic, and I did a pop-up shop with Holistics. I think about 5 years ago. So
You
I
came to the
just
spa event. I think you came to the spa day.
Yeah, to the spa event, and then I believe, no, you know what? You're right. I went to a spa event, and I don't know if I did a pop-up with you after I came from the spa event, or I just went back to one of your pop-ups. That's when I believe I was just starting out, just fresh baby. Fresh baby. But watching you two grow, and just watching your page and everything else is very inspiring. I am also an entrepreneur. I make body skincare products as well, for your mind, body, and environment. And watching you two, this is the reason why I came on the Zoom, because I wanted to just listen in from what you both have to say, so I can have just a little bit more encouragement from what I'm doing with myself.
Thank you for joining us. That means a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for sharing. And Miss Samantha, mind saying, is tuning in from St. Louis, Missouri.
Yes, I'm very far away. So all these little pop-up shops and things that you guys do, I can never, well, I'm not gonna say never, but at this point in life, I can't attend those. But I was interested to know more about the first, let's go back because what you're doing is awesome to say the least. Because I know I have 4 children of my own. And yeah, my 12-year-old is a very smart, but just on a spiritual level, it's a different thing. So it's a little challenging because it's like you have one parent that's this way and another parent that's this way. So I commend you on I haven't started. I've started things and not finished them simply because of fear. I love the body care. I started making my own soaps because of the eczema that I have, and it's been flaring up really, really bad. So I'm interested into knowing. I've attributed a lot to stress, a lot to food. So I'm
Mhm.
interested in knowing a little more about your eczema products.
Yeah, so I'm actually really glad that you brought up the eczema situation because that is something that I'm battling with now myself. So back in 2018, my kids had a flare up. And there's a major difference I learned between childhood eczema and eczema in adults. So I had eczema when I was a child, probably up until I was about 8 years old. And there was things that flared up like foods and ketchup and hot water and things like that. But it went away. It went away, and I hadn't seen it since then until the summer of last year. And it was a struggle because I tried everything. I tried everything that I made. I tried every product that other people made, every product on the market that said this is for eczema. This is going to help your skin. I tried the stuff that I used on my children, thinking that it will work for me. But I realized that it's entirely different because in children, it's a lot easier to get rid of. For some children, not all, of course. So things like body butters and oils and clean products can work for children. However, in adults, depending on where your eczema is coming from, it's very different. So I am considering myself like an eczema warrior because even though I still flare up from time to time, I was able to gain control of my eczema. However, it was never through skincare products was I able to help it. I've learned with skincare that there are things that you can use that won't bother it, and there are things that will temporarily relieve the symptoms. However, nothing will actually, depending on how severe your eczema was and the way mine was last year and started getting, there was nothing that I put on topically that would actually help it. And so I started to do a lot of research because it became frustrating for me. I was saying to myself, like, I'm the owner of a skincare brand. Like, I cannot have my skin looking like this. It's almost like going to a beautician without edges or something and thinking like, how could this woman do my hair when she doesn't have her hair herself? But at the same time, you don't know that maybe she has a condition. So, and the same thing with me being the owner of a skincare brand and then having like the severe eczema that seemingly came out the blue during the pandemic. I was pretty much panicking like every single day, having actual anxiety attacks and breakdowns because nothing I put on my skin works. So I started to do research because I realized that American scientists unfortunately don't know enough about eczema to tell us about eczema. And unfortunately, a lot of our doctors aren't that much of a help. They just prescribe these steroid creams that make things a lot worse in the long run. So I started to look into like Chinese medicine and even African research on eczema, and come to find out it has a lot to do with the liver. So with that being said, it's entirely internal. And what happens is that the immune system kind of begins to attack your skin as it's speeding up the process of processing toxins. So that's actually started my journey more and even more into herbalism. Before I was more on the essential oils and aromatherapy side of things. But then when I was looking for a topical cure, I'm sorry, I'm tripping on my words because I'm talking so fast. A topical cure for my eczema, I started to look at different plant medicines. And like I said, I found things that would temporarily suppress the symptoms like neem on the skin, rosemary, arrowroot powder, calendula, just all of these other herbs that I was putting on top. But then I realized that they needed to be ingested, because all of these things that would kind of reduce the inflammation on top of the skin really need to reduce the inflammation from inside of the body, because that's what eczema really is inflammation. And what happens is that as you scratch, your skin barrier becomes weaker and weaker and more prone to either infections or just having an issue retaining moisture, and it only gets worse from there. So I noticed that sometimes I would have like these stressful times, which majorly contributed to that as well, where I would start like drinking soda, or like just wanting to eat or drink sugar just to supplement like low moods, just to get those endorphins going. So I decided, like, instead of drinking soda, let me try like seltzer waters. That wasn't working for me. Then I decided, let me try flavored waters. That wasn't working for me. So then somebody was just like, try kombucha. So I tried kombucha initially as just a substitute to stop me from drinking soda or anything sugary. And come to find out, like, not only did it reduce the bloating, not only did it give me more energy, but immediately my eczema started to clear up. And it was because I found out that kombucha a lot of the times has apple cider vinegar and probiotics, which is automatically improving your liver health, which, like I said, is directly related to eczema. So long story short, I'm sorry, this can turn into a whole nother topic. Anyone suffering with eczema, like really going after your liver health is probably going to be the best thing you can do for yourself. And also staying away from dairy products, which is the main cause of any type of inflammation in the body, helps a lot.
So you're definitely on point. You just read my whole life down to me. Thank you.
And I would be proud actually to show you guys, because this is something that I've been hiding for like such a long time. Like, I call it like my battle scars. Like, it was so bad, and it's healing now. It's actually a lot lighter because I've been using like turmeric and stuff to heal. But my skin was absolutely, well, it still is. I need to get used to saying it still is. But I was so used to my skin being like perfectly clear, like beautifully clear. And so it really took a toll on me. And I'm just like, I still cover up now, but I'm like, you know what, this summer, like it's been a year now since I started suffering with it, and I'm just like, I'm gonna let it rock this summer.
So
You're amazing.
I'm going to show you a little bit of mine, if you can see it. I don't know if you
Yes,
can.
warrior.
And so, like, I battled with it for quite some time. As you see, I drink a lot of water. So I went into getting zero water. So getting a machine that zeroes my water out. So it's just pure water. The herbs, I use a lot of herbs as well, but it definitely is the sugar I can definitely attest to, because I drink tequila. It comes from a plant, but it has sugar in it. But I've been drinking a lot of soda, hence why I'm bloated, and I'm like 120 pounds. So people are like, "Hey, you having a baby?" And I'm like, "Hey, how about no?" You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I've battled with eczema since like birth, and it was like literally on my neck, on my, like, everywhere. But for the last maybe 5 years, it cleared up really, really well from having my two, because I had two children within a 5-year period. But now it's just like, and I'm like, okay, so that makes sense. So it's really the sugar, because like if I don't drink the tequila, I'm drinking a lot of soda. I don't eat candy. So it's just like, but that your body it's like used to that sugar, you know what I'm saying? But I would say very proud. Like I would cover up a lot, and I was like, oh my God, by me being so skinny, people would think you're on heroin, or you're on, you know what I'm saying? Like, the weight loss has been dramatic, but the belly fat has been overwhelming along with the eczema. But I'm like, okay, so this is fixable, because I
Look,
know the people still, you know what I'm saying?
I got
I'm
mine
definitely
right here. Like, I swear by this kombucha. And I would hear people talk about it. I'm like, what are these crazy health nuts talking about? Like, I literally only drink it to substitute for like that acidic taste I was craving. And when I tell you, it changed my life. Like, it'll help you with your eczema. It'll help you with the bloatedness. I used to take day naps because I have 3 children, and I probably shouldn't say my age, but I'm only 25. So I'm still a baby. And I would have to take day naps in order to keep up with my kids. And I don't even feel the need to take day naps anymore. Like, it really is a game changer. And aside from that, there's something called wet wrapping. I would suggest anybody with eczema to look into, because it's a process, but it helped a lot as well.
Well, I thank you, Queen, and you just bask in your glory,
Thank
because the
you.
25 you have is so much like the youthfulness that you have, and to get it at 25, like I didn't get it to after 30. Okay, so
But you got
I'm
it.
gonna be 39 this year. Okay, and
Wow.
it's just like, yeah, it comes when it comes. Like you said, with the gratitude, even in the beginning of your conversation, I think that's what keeps me holding on, is because I'm just like, no matter how tough it gets, no matter, you know what I'm saying, like. Yeah, you're definitely dope. I was on this live for a reason. So I want to send you a lot of positive energy. I definitely want to buy some of your
Thank you.
products, okay? Because I'm gonna put them on the face or something, my feet or something like. And that's in your glory. Where the exclamate is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It represents something for us.
Thank
Promise
you
you.
so much. It was so great connecting with you.
You as well,
Um,
love.
I, I have a question, Samantha. You said tepache. Is that what you were saying? Tepache? What was it that you were drinking?
No,
Kombucha. So
I'm a
it's spelled
tequila. He drinks.
Kombucha, and it's in most supermarkets now, and they come in different flavors. If you guys get the health aid one, I highly suggest grape vibes, pomegranate, and bubbly rose.
So it's carbonated.
So it's not carbonated. I don't think
It's
it's
fermented tea.
oh, I'm sorry, it is carbonated. It has organic kombucha, pomegranate juice. It's like a tea, basically. Pomegranate essence. It also has a bit of sugar in it. So it has cane sugar, has green tea, black tea, kombucha cultures, and sorry, acids from fermentation, which is basically the apple cider vinegar, and things like that, but in filtered water. But it's really amazing, and it makes me feel so good.
Okay, I've seen that around, but I hadn't tried that. Okay, thank you. So I think one of the ladies mentioned the four-letter word fear. Fear and business. Can you expound on that when you have a wonderful idea and you can see yourself starting a business, or you have that desire to, but the fear comes in? What do you do?
Okay, so the reason why that's a tough question is because I would have answered your question differently a year and a half ago. Um, I'm the type of person, like, I've kind of always lived my life a little recklessly. Like, I haven't feared anything. I was always the type of person to think, like, as soon as I have an idea, I'm gonna jump on it, or as soon as a challenge comes my way, I'm gonna tackle it, and who cares what happens? All I know is that the outcome is gonna be great. Hence why I had ended up with 3 children before the age of 22. Um, so with that being said, I feel like years ago I would have said, like, don't fear anything, just go for it, and believe that you'll always end up exactly where you need to be. However, now I would say I don't I still don't believe in fearing things that I want to do. However, I do believe it is best sometimes to approach things with caution, meaning, like, instead of just throwing yourself out there all the time, like, yeah, it's necessary sometimes, but just really weighing the pros and cons of certain situations. But I would say do it yourself, because I feel like sometimes when we want to start a new endeavor, we tell a person because we low key want to be talked out of it. So, stop telling people around you that is going to talk you out of a great idea. Keep it to yourself. Write a journal. And even if your cons list seems longer than the pros, listen to your soul, not your heart, because sometimes your heart is where the fear is coming from. Listen to your soul and listen to what your intuition, not your gut, your intuition is telling you. And the difference is that your gut is the very human part of you. Your gut is what keeps you safe, what keeps you out of danger, what keeps you running when you sense danger, or fighting when necessary. But your intuition is that higher version of you that is guiding you to exactly where you need to be at all times. So when you learn to tap into that intuitive side of you and really distinguishing the fear coming from your gut, from that place of safety, and that higher version of you saying, hey, this is the next step, then fear will be less of a factor, because you'll know that when you're guided by your higher self and the higher beings that be, you're being led to a place that is right for you. And even if it may be scary, you may not feel like you have the knowledge to embark on something, you have to trust that it will be presented to you, whether it be you coming across a live like this, or stumbling across a book, or a person who ends up helping you a lot more than you realize while you're on that journey. So, you know, I don't believe that when you're fearing things, it's exactly your logical mind. It may be just the negative side of you talking you out of something. So, you know, it's just a matter of really tapping in and listening to yourself to be able to decide whether you really feel like something is the right direction to go or not.
So when you reach out to someone, you're saying that a part of you is looking for that person to tell you no or to dissuade you?
In a lot of ways, yes. I discovered that about myself when I would start endeavors and I found myself constantly looking for people. Like, I realized, like, am I looking for encouragement? Am I looking for anybody to say yes? Like, it really depends on who you reach out to, because, you know, we all have those peoples in our lives. Like, we have that best friend who's gonna tell it like it is, but also encourage you. I'm that best friend. I'm that one that's gonna be like, yeah, girl. Like, I'm not always gonna say, yeah, girl, go do it, but I'm gonna like put some pep in your step to encourage you to believe in yourself to do it. But then, you know, you also have that person. It could be like your mom or your sister that's gonna be like, girl, I don't know if you should do that. That's gonna be too much money. Or, you know, everybody doing that. Or everybody's doing this. Or I don't think you should do this because X, Y, and Z. Like, we all know those people we go to that's either gonna be A, the encourager, or B, the Debbie Downer. So when you find yourself having new opportunities or new plans or new ideas, and you're going to those Debbie Downers, you might be subconsciously sabotaging yourself because you don't believe in yourself, and you might need somebody else to tell you that they don't believe you can do it either. But when you find yourself leaning more towards those people that, you know, might encourage you, or simply keeping it to yourself and trying to figure it out yourself, then you might be more on the track of like saying, like, I really want to do something different. You know what I mean? So it's not our fault. It may be habitual for us to go to those Debbie Downing people, or those people that tend to talk us out of everything that we want to do. But all I can say is when I decided to get my retail stores, there's a lot of people I could have gone to that would have told me the realistics of it. Like, you know, Gigi, on paper, I don't think this is the right move. Retail is failing, and, you know, everything's online and X, Y, and Z, and all of these great reasons as to why I shouldn't have opened my store. And yes, retail is definitely a tough industry, but it will never, the numbers on paper will never amount to the amount of lives, the people I've met, and the amount of tears of gratitude and joy and peace and tranquility that I have brought to, I want to say, hundreds of people between last year and today. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's great to be aware of these things and understand like there is a logical side of things. But at the end of the day, is this world even really real? Like, let's do what makes our soul sing. You know what I mean? Like,
Do what makes your soul sing. That is true. That is true. Whew. Okay. So, okay, look at my okay, my other question here. Okay, so going back to spirituality and business, what are some things that help you to maintain your integrity?
yes. So, um, that's a great question. So, one of the main things I'm going to bring up is I had in my notes here is setting boundaries. Coming into this business world, I came in like a fawn, like all wide-eyed and willing to just lay my life on the line for everyone who dared take a grab at it. You know what I mean? And I really realized that not setting healthy boundaries had depleted me at some point, to the point where like I questioned what I was doing all of this for. And I ended up doing a lot of things that I didn't like doing because I didn't set healthy boundaries. And it was very draining mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And I contribute that stress a lot to my recent eczema flare-ups and all of that stuff that had come about last year for the first time. So I would just say, like, setting boundaries, especially if you are like the type of person that might have a people-pleasing personality type, or overly empathetic personality type, or, you know, you may have been taken advantage of in the past. You're doing yourself a disservice by not setting boundaries, because then you end up puppeteering or doing a lot of things that is against what you stand for, in a sense. And it may not be entirely like unethical or anything, but when you're taking on things and extending yourself in ways that deplete you, you're not being kind to yourself. You're not honoring your boundaries. You're not honoring your higher self, because you can't progress when you're disservicing yourself for the sake of other people. So, you know, how that ties into integrity for me is that I lost myself at one point. I feel like, not entirely, but I lost a lot of my light, and I was becoming dull because I was just being pulled in so many directions, and I wasn't standing up for myself and saying, no, I can't take on this project. No, I don't want to take on this opportunity. No, I don't have the bandwidth to, you know, be of service to you. I was just saying yes to everything but myself. So I felt like, more so in a sense, I was losing integrity with myself because I wasn't caring for me. So other than that, like, in terms of maintaining integrity just in the business world in general, I would say be true to yourself, and keep in mind that the things you put out is what you get back, always. So, you know, the business world allows you to cut corners in a lot of ways, and it allows you to screw people over, but it's up to you to decide whether you're going to take the opportunity, and know that the moment you do take that opportunity to screw someone over, that's going to come right back to you. So it's a matter of just going forward, and no matter how big you're getting, or no matter what opportunity is coming your way, or what looks good, or how the grass looks green on the other side, remember your purpose at all times. And, you know, that may mean passing down certain opportunities, passing down certain supply chains that may be unethical or harmful to people, and you have the knowledge of it. You can't just turn the other cheek and act like you're not aware of certain things going on in business. Like, it is your responsibility as a being on this planet, as a part of the conscious collective, to do your best at all times, and that's in every way. So, you know, what that may mean for many of us is that there's no fast track to success all the time. However, when you do hit that sweet spot of success, you got there with a clean slate, and that's very important to me.
So, what is your purpose?
So, I personally feel like I'm just a vessel. I feel like there's divinity that works through me, and I just listen. Sometimes I don't even hear, I just do. And I feel like my purpose is to guide people along their journeys, to show everyone who comes across my path that there is purity, there is love, there is peace, there is truth, there is honest, there's good people in this world. Like, even if I'm the last good person standing, it is my goal to show people that love and that kindness, regardless of what it is that they come with. And I feel like that is extended to the people around me. That is extended through the products I make, the space I provide, the people I connect. And I don't ever really take credit for the things that I do. When people are like, oh my God, girl, this is great. Like, you're amazing. You're blah, blah, blah. I'm literally just a vessel. So imagine me as like a pipe that the water comes through. You know, I'm not the water. I'm just the pipe. And the water is what's, you know, sustaining whatever is receiving it. So that's how I see myself. And I think my purpose is just to be a vessel here.
I love you saying that because I say myself, I'm a vehicle. I'm a employee in the firm of Spirit Inc. That's how
Yes, I love that. That is a
that keeps
beautiful
me
statement.
grounded. Yeah, that keeps me very grounded. Um,
Yes.
okay, so going down my list of questions. What, as a business person, what makes a good mentor or a good mentoree?
Yes. So what makes a good mentor to me, I'm actually in the process of seeking another mentor. It's just been such a challenge because I've had the time. But what makes a good mentor is someone who, I feel like it's so hard because I try to separate I don't try, but it's so much of the norm to separate the business from the emotional side of things. But to be honest, like, we're not robots. So I honestly feel like a great mentor has unconditional love for you, in a sense is they do not feel the need to judge you. They may critique you constructively, but a good mentor understands that you are human at the end of the day. You're a spirit and a human body. In more like religious terms, you are a spirit in the flesh, and therefore you're going to make mistakes. And a good mentor also understands that every mistake is a learning opportunity, and there really is no mistakes. Like, things will put you exactly where you need to be, as I always say, even in challenging times. So I feel like a good mentor is willing to guide you in a patient way, and to provide you with lessons of their own lives and their own downfalls and their gains, and kind of nudge you along the way, not to do things for you, but to encourage you and to provide guidance. And a great mentor, most of all, understands that they themselves do not have all the answers. However, they will attempt to equip you with the tools to find the answers yourself if they can't provide it. Oh my God, where did I get that from? I be listening to myself like, girl. Um,
You're the vessel.
but aside,
You're the
exactly, I'm
vessel.
like, damn, I kind of need to hear that. Aside from that, what makes a good mentee is someone who's willing, very open and willing to be guided. It is very hard, I've found, from mentoring people, to attempt to teach people who aren't willing to be taught. And you will actually find a lot of people who think that they want to be taught, but they aren't really in that space to be taught yet, because they're not learning from their own self. So, if you're not willing to learn from your own self and your own past and your own challenges, nothing anybody else will tell you can truly teach you. So what I do when I come across people like that is I simply plant seeds, meaning that I'll say something to you once, maybe twice, but after that, it's not my job to convince you. I planted my seed, and whether you want to water it or not is up to you. So I found that the best mentees are those who are approaching you with an open mind and understanding that a mentor doesn't also have all the answers, and that learning experiences, and when you have a teacher, it's a two-way street. Like, the teacher learns from the student and vice versa. um and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. So another question, you talking earlier about the Debbie Downers, and how I like to call them like crushers of creativity. But the question of competition, you mentioned earlier, I think with your products, is someone saying that, oh, other people are doing that. So what are your thoughts on competition? That if you want to do something, but someone else is already doing it.
Yeah. So competition is an illusion, I want to say. um there is no you other than you. There is no me other than me. So even if what we were doing looked nearly identical to each other, we're not going to do it like each other, because our brain is different, our experience is different, our pain is different. Our love is different. Everything we do is different. You know what I mean? So to me, there is room for everyone. The way you connect with people will be different than how another person connects. The tone of another person's brand will be different. The feel of another person's brand. I've tried about probably at least 100 different body butters over my little span of being an entrepreneur and wanting to try everybody's product, and not one is the same. I don't care if we all got our initial recipes off of Brambleberry and YouTube and Wholesale Supplies Plus. It's all different. And you know, like I said, competition is an illusion. You should not be in competition when anyone other than the person you were yesterday. And the reason why I say that is because something that I even had to learn myself as a business owner is to take my eyes off of what anybody else is doing, unless it's to inspire me. Unless I'm being inspired, I don't want to see it. You know, I shouldn't be bothering myself with worrying about, oh, like, you know, oh, I was going to introduce the oil to my line, but the girl I was at the pop-up shop with yesterday just introduced the oil, so maybe she's going to think I'm copying. No, absolutely not. I guarantee you that person's probably not even thinking about you. Or maybe they're just thinking how much they love your setup. You know what I mean? So, you know, there is room. And another thing that I noticed with a lot of entrepreneurs is that they're afraid of copying. They think that if they go online and find recipes, or if they make their product look a certain way, it's copying. But there's a thin line. There definitely is a thin line between copying and inspiration, but you can find inspiration. You know, there's nothing that hasn't been created yet. There's no past, there's no present, there's no future. There's only now, which people call it the present, but let's just call it now. And, you know, everything in some way has been replicated before it. And all you have to do is make it you. Like, when you're putting yourself authentically into your brand, when you're pulling from your own creative juices, and those of you who get stumped creatively, there's always exercises that you can do to get those creative juices flowing. You're fine. Like, just do it. Like, forget it if your cousin already did it. Forget it if your best friend already did it. You know, of course, give them their respective space and respect their business processes, but just do you, you know, to let them know if it's a person close to you, they inspired you. And, you know, of course, don't do shady stuff like trying to take their clientele, or, you know, there's definitely shady ways to make things a competition. But if you know in your heart you're doing things wholeheartedly with the best intentions, because you truly feel like it's your calling, then go for it. You know what I mean? Now, what does worry me a little bit in terms of so many businesses sprouting up, and so many people taking on new endeavors, is not the fact that there's no room for us, but just the environmental impact. You know, like, a lot of us, we start businesses and we just start ordering everything we see because we might have the money to, or we might be saving up the money to. But just try to do things sustainably, if possible. I'm still myself working on trying to become more sustainable in my practices, because of course it's not possible to be 100% perfect, but there are ways to just think of your impact on the environment, in the world, and things like that. So there's room for you.
What I like to say is, when people say, I want to do this, but so and so is doing this. Like, I want to make this lotion because I like shea butter, but so many other people are doing it. I say, go to the grocery store. How many brands of laundry detergent are there? How many
Exactly.
brands of bread are there? You know, Heinz is not the only ketchup brand either. You know, it's things like that. Just when you're feeling like, I can't do this because someone else is doing it, just walk the aisles of the grocery store and
I
see
love
other
that.
people
Yes, that is so
doing that.
true. I love that.
Miss Samantha, yes, you have your hand raised, Miss Samantha. Yes, Samantha, can't hear you. Oh, you're muted.
I'm sorry. I said I had to raise my hand because you know how you like try to save your thoughts, but it's like so many that was like combining with each other. I was like, I gotta jump in and just okay. And I didn't want too many. Okay, so the first thing we were talking about competition, and yeah, I definitely agree with you on it. And I had to tell myself, like literally, there is no type of competition because you can't compete with Sam being Sam. Just like you can't compete with you being you. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's none whatsoever. And it's an energy. So you might make this way, and I might make it this way, but our energy is different. For instance, I like to cook food. I'll make soaps, I'll make teas. Like what I do is first it started with my family. So let me cut this middleman out. I don't want to order this. I don't want to order this, and I don't want to order. I don't want to keep making, you know what I'm saying? People reach that are cutting corners, giving me stuff that I don't need. What can I do to save me money? So let me learn how to make this. Let me learn how to, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely totally agree with that. I also wanted to ask you, what is your sign, if you don't mind me asking?
Me or Abina?
You. I know. I know.
So thank you. So my birthday is 11/22. It's the exact transition and day between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So my sun is actually 0.03 degrees in Sagittarius, but I'm high key Scorpio. I don't care what nobody say. But since I've been like healing and stuff, I have been stepping more into my Sag energy. So technically I'm more of a Sag, but I'm like my sun is literally on the cusp, like right there.
I can definitely tell. And I was like, this is giving me all Sagittarius energy right here. Like it,
Yeah, this is the
like it
go-getter
was.
vibes. It's definitely
It
Sag.
literally was. And then so I knew I was right, but that's me second guessing myself. Right. Because I tend to read people. It just comes to me. And I was like, this is so me. This is me if I would have at 25, if I kind of would have stopped and allowed, but everything happens in divine timing. Right. And
Exactly.
so
Absolutely.
when you were talking about the mentor, so my mentor is a Gemini. And when I say she's like thorough with it, like she's not going to just give you the answers. She's going to help you find. She understands that you're human. She says her human experiences.
That's
It took a
amazing.
long time to even find, you know what I'm saying? I just left it to the universe in divine timing. Like just give them to me when it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like if my energy doesn't feel right, just because this is a job, I don't need
Yeah.
anybody to help me just because it's a job. I need you to help
Mm-hmm.
me because you have experienced some sort of level of what I've gone through. So you can give me the help guide, which in turn I turn around and I give the help guide to the next person. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
that like you're super dope. Like this Sagittarius energy, first of all, and I'm pretty sure you might know this, but if you don't, it's a sign with the planet Jupiter, which is the
Yeah.
most optimistic sign of all of the planets. So we always think a little bit ahead of the game. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Because I've listened to you this whole time. And it's like some things I picked up on you was like 3 children and 25. I have 4. Okay.
Oh my
Now,
God.
granted, I didn't. My oldest is 20 and my youngest is 3.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. You look amazing. That's amazing. Like whatever you're doing with your skin, it's the right thing.
Like it's just being grateful and trying new things and learning. Like I had to take class after class after class after class.
Yes.
It was where my energy took me to. Okay, so if I eat this food, if I do this, even going vegan for quite some time, I've been like back and forth with it, and I think I know why my eczema. You've helped me kind of clear up why my okay, Sam, you're getting entirely too much sugar. Period. Point blank. Is
Mm-hmm.
sugar, and then you put sugar with stress, it's just not a great combination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you just be proud. Like something just told me to tell you, you be proud. Like at 25 with 3, like the warriors that we're raising and the princesses that we're raising, they're going to take care of us. We don't parent our children like most people parent their children, and it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like every child is here. It's an ancestor. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Oh
have
my
3
God, girl.
ancestors like around
You
you,
came on this
supporting
live
you.
with a
Like
message.
you know, it's so I definitely would love to connect with you. I definitely would like to
Absolutely.
introduce you to one of my mentors because you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like the tribe, the soul tribe, we come together. We're coming together and we're bringing what we need to each other. So you don't have to look no more because you're gonna get where you need to go. Okay, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. Like You rocking my color. I got your color on. My toes are purple. You can have that. I used to have purple hair before I cut it all off. Okay, like
Yes.
I'm stepping into it, and no
You
matter
know,
what I
purple
look
is
like or
actually a
feel
SAG.
like.
SAG is represented by purple.
Mm, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like so in
It's
love
one
with
of the
the.
colors.
It's just like the greatest color. Like I was just like, okay. I think that's all I got to say right now. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
You as
And I
well.
just
Love.
want to say, like, the whole establishment is purple. I remember stepping into the restroom, like, wow, it's even in here, and even like the top and everything. It's just like that's why I say it's just her space is unapologetically purple. As said, it's royal. It's luxuriant and royal, and it's here in the Bronx. I think when I was at the event that you did, I had this moment, just kind of watching everybody and like being so moved that this is in the Bronx. This ain't Brooklyn. It's not Manhattan. This is in the Bronx on Third Avenue by the hub of all places.
Yes.
And people may not see significance of that, but if you love the Bronx, if you absolutely love the Bronx, and you know what's in the Bronx, not just the potential, but what's already in the Bronx, and that people should know about it. It was just beautiful. It was just such a beautiful moment in that
Thank
beautiful
you.
space. So, yes, thank you
My
for
heart,
that.
like, I feel like my heart can't get any bigger than what it feels right now. It's like stretching, like, oh my
So,
And
someone,
the vessel. I've told people continuously, and I come down because it's like, gosh, you give the best advice, but your ass don't take it yourself. Sometimes I just love it feels good to connect the right
God.
person, the right person. Like I'm here to give you this energy. And even when you was talking about the competition, people don't want to know. It's like, yeah, I'll tell you something, but you're not serious about it. Or they're thinking that they're competing. This is not a competition. I genuinely just want to help you. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Not to say that I help you, not to, but you can take it or you can't take it. It don't make no difference to me. I'm gonna do my job.
Exactly.
I'm gonna help. I'm the vessel, and
You
it's not
planted your seed.
about like it's not because it's just like I'm the nicest person. If I got it, they look at me crazy. Like, why did you just get? Like, I know I need this bill paid, but I'm gonna take you to lunch. What you doing, girl? Let me do this for you because But the only way to keep what you have is to give it away. And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna keep giving, and giving. I'm sorry. Oh, these are my two youngest babies. I don't get tired of myself, okay? But okay, can I finish?
Samantha, what was that you said about giving? What was that last thing you said about giving away?
My name is Samantha. They don't need to know. The only way to keep what you have is to give it away. So anytime I get something, I give something. Like for instance, I get tips at work. So now I'm always giving tips no matter where I'm at. I could be at Starbucks. I could be at, you know what I'm saying, my casual store. They like Little Caesars, I hate it. But anywhere I'm at, I'm giving a tip. I'd be like, well, might not be much, but let me, you know what I'm saying, pay it forward. Because I need to come back. And just to let you guys know, we're in a Saturn retrograde now. It's gonna last 4 months. So everything you do with whatever intention we do it with, people, I'm like, yeah, come on with that bad intention you
Karma.
got from me. Because you're gonna be stuck in that. So I'm gonna intentionally give to you good because I intentionally want good back to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just like I give with the intention of being peaceful, of helping somebody, not to always get it back, but just to make somebody's day, to make somebody smile, to make somebody, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I love you
Yeah.
today. I don't know you. I don't know you either, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
you may not have heard that. Like I genuinely love you as a human. Because
I feel
being a
like I'm
human,
talking to myself right now.
that's exact. I promise you, the whole time you were talking, it was like, dang, this
Is
is.
that me?
And are you wearing purple after? Is that
Huh?
purple that you have on? Is that
Where?
purple that you have? How ironic that everybody has purple. Make it make sense. Signs and symbols for a conscious mind is all I'm saying. You know what I'm
So
saying?
is
Like,
it,
and I haven't been
but
on
I
these
don't,
lives. Wow, like I haven't. I've been going through it. I haven't been, but divine timing, like, yeah, it was meant for me to be on this. So,
I didn't even think about that, but I usually associate like purple as the color for Thursday. So I always try to wear something for the color of the day. I didn't even think about that. Wow.
That's
yeah,
so funny.
divine connection. That's what it is. Divine connection. Like you don't even show your face. Edna does not show her face on lives most of the time. So
What?
to see her, I was like, okay, let me cut my camera on then. Cause she that you know what I'm saying? So your energy is working, it's being received, it's
That means
needed,
a lot.
you know, like it's needed. And you probably should think about making your own kombucha. I think you should do that. I think you should make your own. I think
Yeah.
it would be really, really
Yeah,
great
that
for
sounds
you.
good because I'm tired of spending $3.99 for it, but
Cause
it's worth
ain't it
it.
expensive? Like it's
It's
ridiculous.
honestly worth it. It's the best. It's the best $3.99 I spend every day.
It is. Okay, let me get off this live. I gotta watch these
So
dishes.
no, you said the only way to keep what you have is to give it away, or the only way to get what you have is to
The only way to
give it
keep
away.
what you have is to give it away because everything
Okay.
comes full circle. Nothing has been done. There is nothing new on this planet. It's just the energy that you produce what you're making with. You know what I'm saying? I always be like for instance, I told you I cook, right? So it's a thing called Monte Cristo sandwich. And I was like, oh, it normally comes with jelly and like the turkey or the ham or both, whatever. I said, oh, let me go get these strawberries and puree these strawberries. So instead of putting jelly, I put pureed strawberries on it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That was like my own spin. Like I'm always, because I'm like, even though I don't eat completely vegan. I'm trying to get there, but I said I'm going to get a DNA test so I can see what my bloodline requires, because it might require me to eat a chicken. You know what I'm saying? Definitely ain't eating fish because I watched a documentary on that. But it's just like don't fall. I tell people I'm not all the way vegan, but that doesn't mean I don't know how to cook vegan. Like try this. Like it's still a healthier option. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that girl said hi. That girl said hi. That girl said hi. This is why I don't be on the lives, Abner, because the babies just be. I got to try. But
Yes,
yeah,
my 5 and 6-year-old are at home.
I'm gonna drop my information in the chat, and we can definitely hook up. And I definitely look forward to bringing something to you because I know you got something to give to me, and that's just
That's
what it's about.
amazing.
You bring your gifts, I bring my gifts, and this is how the empire gets started. And I'm
Yes,
all the way in
yes.
St. Louis, so I'm that person that's like, hey, if you got this product and you believe in this product, then for me, that does a lot because then I'm giving them a different product from a different area. So no, you can't get this here, you can't get this, and you have to go through me. You know what I'm saying? Like most people
Yeah.
don't want to be, everybody wants to be the chief. And no, I like being the Indian. I
Yeah.
do. Because being a chief requires a lot. And like my attitude ain't be set up for that. So let me just be your right hand man and get everything together from behind the scenes because sometimes I just don't like people, to be honest. Sometimes they irks,
Yeah,
I
that's
get you some
awesome.
crystals
Thank you
too.
so much.
Get you some crystals. I need you to get you some crystals. I need you
Yes.
to get you some, I need you to go to the crystal shop, pick you out some crystals, and I need you to get some protection around your neck, some protection around your arms. I need you to do that like ASAP, okay?
Got
Yes.
my appetite.
Get that neck protected too, okay? My plant-based coach had to tell me, protect your neck, protect your energy. Like,
Mm.
so I love you, sis. And I
Love
can't
you
wait to
too.
hook up
Thank
and
you
talk
so
to you.
much.
Stop it.
So, yes, so there was a question here. Someone wanted to know what services you provide. Are there any services at the store?
Yes, so we have someone who does tarot readings on Tuesdays and another person who does tarot reading on Thursdays. We also have a woman who does reflexology, hot stone massages, herbal facials that are non-invasive. We also have someone who's going to be doing yoni steam soon, which I'm excited because we're going to be the only yoni steam storefront in the area pretty soon. So that's hopefully coming within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And on our website, we have a workshop services and events tab, which you can see some of those things there, which we need to update it a little bit. But for the most part, the majority of what we offer is there. Also, we offer candle making workshops. We do manifestation candle making workshops. We just started sip and paints, and we do sip and scrubs, which is similar to sip and paint, but you're making your own body scrub. So those are the different services and workshops we currently have.
What's sip and scrub?
So you basically make your own body scrub with either salt or sugar in a concoction of like herbs and fragrances that you can customize. And you go home and you use it as a scrub while you sip some champagne or a mimosa, or if you're under the age of 21, ginger ale, orange juice, or sparkling cider.
Okay, thank you for that. And you also mentioned the open mics. Is it open mics or just like showcases?
So it's a mix of like, you know, we kind of battle in between what to call it, because it's really like a showcase, because God bless the talent that has come through here. They're very amazing artists, and we always get a great show. However, we still call it open mic because we want to encourage people with different skill levels and different experiences and different styles of performing to come and try out the stage and share their gift with us without the pressure of feeling like they have to meet like a certain standard because it's called the showcase. So it really, in many ways, is a showcase, being how well organized and put together the events are and the quality of talent we've received thus far. However, we do leave it open to open mic just because we do enjoy a variety of all different talents and skill sets and levels.
So here's another question. So when it gets challenging, when the challenges come with running a business and you start to question yourself, what do you do?
I cry. No, honestly, like sometimes I cry, and then I pep talk myself. Sometimes I can get really down on myself, and oftentimes I do have a very small but encouraging support system that for the first time I actually look to sometimes for a little bit of guidance or an extra push, because one thing I did coming into business was do everything independently. And I thought that I could maintain things that way, like thinking, you know, I don't need anyone's help. I can do everything on my own. But just like it takes a village to raise a child, which I most recently learned, it also takes a village to raise a business up. And you know, I really realized, like, even if I could do things on my own, why should I, you know? So oftentimes now I look to the trusted and very valuable few people in my life who I know may offer words of encouragement or suggestion, like, you know, you're overwhelmed, take a day off to do nothing while I take care of the store, or, you know, use some of your spiritual baths, like, you know, pray, like look at your old journals or read through some of your old books and remember who you are as a person. Like, it's just really a matter of remembering who I am and what I'm doing this all for. And sometimes I can remind myself, or sometimes I look to the people around me to remind me, like, you know, in the least conceited way, like I'm that bitch, like, you know, like not in some like cocky way, but in a way where it's like, I'm a warrior, and you know, sometimes I'm battling so much I forget how much a warrior I am because I'm tired of fighting. But then I'm like, man, like, what is this fight for? Like, you know, yeah, let me go rest because I gotta wake up tomorrow and fight again. So that's all I can say. Like, I just have to remind myself of what I'm doing everything for when I get discouraged.
When you said that word, I was thinking of making this comment, and then I backtrack, and then I said, okay, wait, why are you backtracking about? You know, you are a boss, and you know, and I guess this is for ladies, for women, you know, with our socialization and understanding, you know, you're a boss and being able to acknowledge that. I know for myself, and it was like, you know, you can say you're a boss. You can say that you're doing something. It's like, no, I have to be humble. I can't say
Same.
that.
Yes. Oh my God. I only recently, like, it's so funny. I don't even let my employees refer to me as their boss. Like, it's weird to me. Like, it's almost like I felt the need to just smother the light so much and not like I always try my best to make sure that I'm not putting myself on any type of pedestal, but it's to the point where I'm putting myself even more down than necessary. And that's what 2022 feels like to me. Like it's finally that year where I'm really into my power and fully accepting and embracing my role as a leader and saying like, it's not time to play small anymore. I was given a lot in life because my purpose is huge. I think everybody's purpose is huge, but I'm walking in that huge purpose. A lot of us forget our way. Right now, I'm walking in that huge purpose, and it's my responsibility to take on that leadership role. And like Samantha said, she likes to be the Indian. I love being an Indian too. But at some points I realized like it's chief time, and I can't be up there leading Indians. I kind of almost feel bad saying that because I know it's now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, wait, I'm using the wrong term. But you know what the statement means. Like I feel bad leading the sheep in sheep clothing in a sense when I'm supposed to step into this role that I've been acting too small to portray in a sense, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, that it makes perfect sense. I was taking a career counseling class, and I remember the instructor saying, you know, 'cause it was all women, and saying to us, um, pull out your inner white man, and saying that to me like you could have a guy who's he's coaching a soccer team, and the team may be losing, they may not be doing great, but he'll say, yeah, I'm coaching this team, and we've got so and so who's a good catcher or whatever. So she said, yeah, bring out your inner white man, because she said she knows
Yeah,
that
I actually love that
that's something
statement.
to struggle with.
The reason why I love that statement is not that they're superior at all, but like just given their ability to just kind of get ahead in certain situations in this country and be able to like have access into stepping into their power and their purpose a lot quicker than we do, given that they don't have to face as much oppression and stuff like that. I like that in a sense. Like there's something about that statement that resonates. It's like, you don't have any odds against you right now. So be that person that doesn't have the odds against them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what are some things that you would tell entrepreneurs who might be interested in your store?
I would tell y'all that I just opened up consignment applications. So we're in the process of taking on more vendors into our stores. It is a vigorous application process, but I don't say that to discourage anyone. It's only because we do have a limited amount of space, and we have a lot of people interested in putting their products in our stores. But the applications are currently open, and you can actually go to the link in our bio on Instagram or to our website, so where it says small business owners, and go to the sell with us tab, and that'll give you all the information regarding what is consignment, the business model, how you get paid, and all of that stuff. And also for the vendors who are in New York City and interested in doing pop-up shops with us, we keep our pop-up shops rates low because it is my space. So, the average pop-up shop rate as of right now is around like 150 to 175, which is entirely understandable because the event spaces are extremely expensive. And those are the rates I was paying for when I was a pop-up shop vendor. But being that we do pop-up shops so often and consistently in the space, I do have rates that are very affordable, with the goal of making sure that our vendors are profiting well, and they're very well promoted. And like everyone know, when I have my pop-up shops, I be on the streets. Like I promote before the event, the day of. Like I encourage the vendors, even when the weather's not bad, I be out there. I mean, when the weather's not good, I'm out there. So we have a lot of opportunities, and even if you're not selling with us or being a part of our pop-up shops, like you can still be a part of our community through our upcoming networking events, which it's not as boring as it sounds. They're actually really fun. Like we play games, we have like amazing food from these caterers by the name of Miss Vivine's, which they are part of the majority of my events at this point. We really make it an elaborate experience, and and I'm not just saying this because it's my store, but when we have events, it's almost like otherworldly. Like sometimes I walk into the events and I'm like, wow, this is dope. And I'm like, oh shit, this is mine. Because like, it's not just the look of it, but the people that find themselves here. Y'all are phenomenal. And I'm just beyond grateful to come across such lights in my life like you and other people who come through these doors for these events and stuff.
Thank you so very much. This has just been so awesome. I think I thought I said, oh, I've got all these questions. We won't get through all of them. I think we did get through all of my questions. So Miss Johnson, do you have any comments? Miss Johnson?
Hi. The only, you know what? Listening to you ladies and just hearing you going back and forth, I'm in my head like, yes, this is exactly how I feel. This is exactly how I felt. Um, just like the young lady earlier, I have stopped and started, stopped and started, stopped and started. And this is the first year that I actually just was a little bit more consistent. What would you say to a person like me and others just like me on being consistent and staying strong to your convictions of being consistent?
Yes. So consistency is something that I still to this day find myself struggling with, but I would say it's my drive that really keeps me going. And at times when I'm not being consistent, I realize it's routine. It's a lack of routine. It's a lack of discipline. And a lot of the times when we want to be consistent, we attack the lack of discipline, but really we need to attack the lack of routine. And this means that when you listen to any successful person speak, like Oprah, all of these other people, they will always tell you that they have a consistent routine. They have a consistent time that they wake up in the morning, a consistent time that they brush their teeth, that they lay their heads on their pillows. And granted, when you have life like mine, for instance, where things might be constantly changing due to like children and schedules and other factors that may come up, like aside from the fact that I'm taking care of 3 children, I'm also my mom's caretaker, which is, unfortunate at such a young age. But, there's so many factors that can throw us off a routine. But if you thank you so much, if you find a way to create this routine, like saying to yourself, no matter what, at 6 o'clock, it doesn't have to be this exact time, but no matter what, at 6 o'clock, I'm gonna brush my teeth. No matter what, at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I'm gonna take my shower. When you create these constants in your life, not only does it take away from you having to worry about planning things, it gives you a sense of stability, even if it's like simple stuff like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, combing your hair, when you're gonna do your makeup, when you're gonna make your bed. Just doing these things over and over and over almost creates like brackets and barriers. And then it allows you to then begin to fill in the blanks in between, where you start to kind of group tasks together. Like, okay, after I take my shower and do my facial routine every night, I'm going to sit down and journal. And then you'll notice that the more you do that, like maybe the journaling will activate like some creativity in you. And then you'll say, well, after I journal, you know, or after I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee, I'm just gonna write in my content planning notebook like 3 social media posts for the next few days, or whatever the case may be. Just establishing some sense of routine allows room for consistency and certainty, I would say. And like I said, I do this and then I get thrown off, and I do it and I get thrown off. But having that goal in mind to just have some level of routine and consistency really helps. And just to throw this out there to anybody who may be listening who likes to read or doesn't like to read, there's a book called Atomic Habits that I'm currently going through. The lights, thank you. That I'm currently going through. That helps me a lot. Sorry.
That was very helpful. Thank you.
Hard. I'm sick, especially with small children. So though, it's better to have started than to never have done it at all. You know what I'm saying? So I take all my endeavors. Like I literally have been licensed to do insurance, to do taxes. I make soap. I cook. I clearly can take and raise a household. I take care of my dad too. Let me throw that in there. My dad is 68 years old. Okay. And then I help with my mom. So like consistency is, I would say that's one of the hardest things that I have, because it's just, yeah, it's like, but at least you started it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at least you, I just be like, look, if this is the way I feel, if the world ends today, let's take the money away. I want to be able to survive. Yes. I want to be able to live. Because we look at and it's, you know, like a lot of people are just like, you need this money. You like, I'm calling that battle. I don't need to be like a millionaire. I just need to, somebody's about to get in trouble for real. Like, I'm gonna need y'all to stop at all costs. It's more so of how do I keep my family afloat with all this catastrophe that's going on, because really it's time for the chosen to step up in their position. You can't hide from it. It don't matter how many corners we go duck off into and how many things we keep to ourselves, it's going to require us to bring it forth. You know what I'm saying? And it's like my children will say stuff to me. They be like, oh, mommy, you need to do this. Or mommy, we should do this. Or how about when I get grown? You know, they'll push you to, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I took the money away. And I would say, I know fear is not the best word. Stop. Fear is not the best word, but I can honestly sit here and be honest. I'm scared of success. Because I mean, I can go out here and tell something.
I'm in the same way.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about being complacent and being so used. I'm used to the struggle. I'm used to surviving. I'm not used to, I can get $3,000 today. And the first thing I'm going to do is, oh, let me pay this bill. Let me pay this bill. Let me pay this bill. Let me pay. Not, you know what I'm saying? But I had to learn about investment. I had to learn, like, it's a whole thing. It's not just like, it's mentally, it's spiritually, it's financially. Health is like 5 different areas of your life. It's not just one area, you know, but we have to start admitting. That's the first thing I think. And it's just for me, but it's just admitting, are you afraid of success? Are you afraid that you might actually have enough money in your bank account to, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we sabotage ourselves. I know I sabotage myself. I'd be like, okay, well, this is a little bit, it's not, what's your agenda?
Now you're controlling the car.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're
about to bring me to tears.
I swear, you're literally just like me. My kids are 3, 5, and 6
my
now,
mind.
So that is me all the time. Now, in terms of being afraid of success, like I completely understand that, because when I was just working in corporate America, I used to say to myself, and it's almost like a joke now, giving like my understanding of like the financial world and what needs to be paid and stuff. I used to say to myself, I don't want much. I just want to make $120,000 a year. That was the salary that I told myself that I wanted and that I would be comfortable in. So when I had this like amazing job in private equity, plus my business was growing online and I hit that threshold, I was looking around like, this is all that 120,000 a year is going to get me. And I was just like, I was blown away, because I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, I set I don't want to say I set a low bar for myself, but because I grew up in poverty and I basically had like the scarcity mindset instilled in me, I really set the bar a lot lower than I realized. And I know like it's like I can say much, but I guess I can't say too much. But I know a lot of people who were kind of like born with silver spoons in their mouth, just from like, you know, going through the corporate world and like making long-term friends. And I know who people born into like generational wealth and things like that. And they don't even cap themselves in terms of their earnings. They don't even think this is all I want to make and then I'll be okay. It's almost like they just allow the money to flow. And like something that people in the spiritual world constantly remind me is that currency is energy. Like, you know, money is just the tangible item we think of, but when you look at the world today, mostly everything is digital, and the majority of the money that we spend nowadays we don't actually see in person. Like the cash is just not physically there anymore. So, you know, it could be digitally, it could be energetically, it could be this way, it could be that way. But I do genuinely feel, and I tap into it sometimes myself, and then sometimes I forget. There's a way to allow like an abundance mindset to come into your life. And it's not always with a dollar value. It's simply with understanding that regardless of how much or how little you have, you're going to have everything you need supplied to you. And then once you are secure in that, and I can honestly say, like, even as a business owner, like, I don't have everything all together. And there was times where there was a lot of uncertainty, especially making that transition from having such a high paying job to being a full-time entrepreneur, and not realizing that I'll make actually a lot less in profit in this journey than I was when I was just like, you know, working for someone else's own financial gain and stuff like that. But long story short, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I realized that like in all situations, I'm gonna be taken care of regardless. And the less I focus on capping myself and saying, oh, all I need to do is make this, all I need to make this, I still do set financial goals, but I allow myself to receive whatever it is that I make. So, you know, I always said to myself, I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want a couple 100,000. Millionaire me, please. Like billionaire me, please. Because all someone said to me recently, you know, you may think that all you need is this, but when you have more, you can do more. So meaning that even though a millionaire may seem like a lot more problems come with it, I can also do more for people with $1 million, like with $2 million, 3 million, 4 million, blah, blah, blah. So even if it's only like a couple 100,000 for me now, however much for me now, and I'm already helping as many people as I can, I could only imagine as my financial abundance grows and the things that I have multiplies, then I can even do my purpose even more. So, you know, like I feel like especially in the Black community, we're almost taught to somewhat be afraid of receiving so much or asking for so much even. But you know, we got to get to the point where we start moving past that mindset. And even I am a little bit timid, like, oh my God, like if I start running these ads and I get 1,000 orders, how am I going to do this? Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, God got me. You know, this divine energy that has had me up until this point is going to have me whatever next point I reach. And I have faith in that. You know what I mean? I feel like faith is such a beautiful thing.
Kind of coming back to that fear of success, because that was a big bomb. Um, so I just so fear of success, that can look like procrastination, or not like following up on like an offer or an opportunity. That can be like fear of success.
Yes, yes. And it's so funny because as you said that, my heart dropped because I remember something I was supposed to do that was really, really important that I'm procrastinated on, which might be like a nice big step for me. But yeah, I would honestly say I probably experienced it in some ways, but like I honestly like I have a bad relationship with the concept of fear, honestly. Like if I sense any ounce of fear in me, I will fight it, because to me, nothing, no one is your worst enemy than yourself sometimes. And fear is definitely a weapon of that worst enemy that lives inside all of us, you know, so.
Okay, I'm still mulling that one over. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely that's procrastination. Like it is. Like I've had offers where I literally have like made my own way. I would go over there. I would literally go into a restaurant and I'd be like, hey, you have no vegan option. What if I do this and such? And I'm like, oh, this sounds so good. Come back this day. And I'll be like, I will find some excuse or some reason not to go. Like I mean, I've literally created like opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and I always find like, and it's because of the support, and you know, like most of the people that I work for now, the people I work for now are black owned. I refuse to work for anybody that doesn't look like me, and both own their own businesses, and I just see like the frenzy with it, and it's just like when I cook food, I feel like people should be placed in positions that they're good at. Now you get Samantha, you getting somebody awesome because Samantha can work the front of your restaurant, the side of your restaurant, the back of your restaurant. Like I can work outside of the restaurant. It's never, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's not like that. I understand it. But putting people where their niche is, it makes a difference. If you know this person is not a big people person, but they work alone by themselves, then so I'm trying to like map out how would I do it because everybody can't cook my food. I don't want you to have every recipe if your energy is not right, because like most people don't understand, energy is transferable. So if you come in to cook something for me and you pissed off because you just got through fighting, then that energy is going to transfer into the food. So it's just like I'm used to just doing everything by myself because I want it done a certain way. And I'm not like the greatest teacher. Like I can teach you if it's something with you, but when it comes to me, it's like the patience is like these are all the things that I have issues with. And I just like I'll be the person to cook the food, package the food, get the food because I know how to talk to be like, I don't want to overwhelm myself, but I feel like I do overwhelm myself. It's just scary because I mean, I just don't want my business to fail. And I want it to be I just see so many ways for it not to fail. But I guess the thing is sometimes it's fell up, right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, you're gonna be 40. I don't have time to start a business and it fail and keep starting and keep so I just kind of do little stuff on the side. So people know me for making soap, or people know me for making food, or people know me for mixing oils and herbs together. Like different people know me for different things. And that's like I'm the what they say, the jack of all trades and the master of none. It's like where I'm
I
at with my
always hear people say there's more to that statement that I always forget what it is, but it makes me feel better about being a jack of all trades and master of none. Because I don't know, like I feel like okay, it says it's better the jack of all trades, master of none is better than a master of one. Well, I don't think anybody's better than anybody, but you know.
right.
There's definitely more to that statement, but I honestly personally resonate. Like, you know, I do sometimes find myself fearing failure, but it's like I have some pretty powerful people in my corner sometimes. And I remember the other day, like I'm saying the other day, maybe it was months ago, I was saying to this person, I'm like, you know, sometimes I'm afraid to fail. Like I'm afraid to have gotten as far as opening 2 stores and like looking at the way things go sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, like what if I have to shut down? Like how embarrassing will that be? Like, you know, what if I fail? Like I have said that before. And what he says to me is, okay, so what if you fail? Like is the store you? Is this, God forbid if these stores shut down, like, is it your identity? Like, is everything over? And I thought about it and I'm like, that's true. You know, it would suck and it would be a lot of time and a lot of effort. But at the end of the day, should that happen, I did all that I could here to make as much of a difference while I was here. And, you know, I reached beyond my wildest imagination. I never intended to be where I am. And that's a lot of the times where people are when they think that they fell, like athletes, when they lose a race, they may have lost, but they probably beat their own, they probably ran the fastest they ever run. You know what I mean? So what that means is that you had the opportunity to see how far you can get, try again. You know what I mean? Like I always think of so many other people who have seemingly failed in life and they go down in the history and it's like they celebrated and it's sad that they celebrated once they died, but they probably would have never imagined being in someone's textbook or in someone's documentary while they were up there doing what they were doing. So with that being said, it's definitely natural to fear failure, but it's like I'm starting to change my perspective as to what failure is. You know, like I feel like the term failure is scary, but when you really think about it, it's like you tried in the first place and you got further than would you had you not taken the first step. So did you really fail in the long run? You know what I mean? Or did you get up a few steps and get a boost on now you can approach whatever you're trying to do differently or even with more wisdom?
Well, thank
It's
you.
better that you tried, you know, because if you didn't try, you wouldn't have gone anywhere.
So y'all
Yeah.
got this.
You do too. Like I'll try anything that supports my immune system spiritually and
Yes.
you know, for my children. Like I'm just like I'll try anything at this point because it's like when you're told it goes back to what we were told to do. And
Mhm.
with us not being in that age anymore of just believing, now we need to know. I need to see the evidence. Like even if I tell somebody, I'll be like, hey, well, you can Google this. You can, you know what I'm saying? Like you can Google. Google works for everybody. You know, go get a book, go read it. I'm just giving you my synopsis on what helps or what we can do. It's a method, it's trial and error. You know, and I get that. And I'm not even gonna lie, most of the products and the things that I do, I test on my children first. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
same.
saying? Like I do it with myself, or I do it with myself. You know what I'm saying? It's like people looking for a quick fix. Like I took my newest friend to the equation. I took her, she was saying her kidneys and diabetes and stuff like that. I broke out my herb book and I was like, okay, let's go to the herb store. Let's
Yeah.
mix some herbs together. And she was like, well, how's this? I had to look at her. I was like, well, you know, you spent about probably 20 years effing your body up. So it's not going to be an overnight success. Like people are looking for quick fixes. And this is why a lot of people take medicine because they
Yep.
want that quick fix. But it's like nurturing your body, it takes time and you know what I'm saying? It takes consistency. There goes that word again. So I just look at it like I got to be consistent. I feel like this to make myself feel better because you have to look at the positive unless you be coming down on yourself day after day out. What am I consistent with? I know I'm consistent with taking care of these children. I know I'm consistent with making sure that you're going to eat no matter what it might be. So judge me if we stop at Cane's and get some chicken strips, okay? But they're eating. You know what I'm saying? And I just have to pride myself on the one thing I'm consistent with and just keep telling
Yes.
myself, well, we're going to be more consistent with this tomorrow, or we'll be more consistent with this. Because at the end of the day, as much as we we have issues with it, it really is, I think, for all of us as humans, probably one of the hardest consistency of patience.
Yes.
Consistency of patience. So, yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yes. I've like me personally, I'm really just understanding the flow of things and what makes a successful person, because even though many people may regard me as successful, I'm still trying to see myself that way sometimes. So I'm always just studying other people who I regard as successful, because success looks different to many of us. And what I've learned with everything, whether that be people who I regard as a successful parent or a successful business owner or a successful partner or a successful child, in terms of like, what they may do or how they may appease their parents and things like that. Many of the people who do seem successful in what they do have systems, and that's what I'm trying to learn about myself. Like, how can I implement systems into my life? Because a lot of the times we're just winging it. Like me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just winging this call, because I'm used to winging it and things just turn out great. But it's like, winging things take a lot of energy. And when you have system in place, you get to reserve some of that energy so you can dedicate it towards greater things, whether that be mental energy or even physical energy, because you know, okay, when I come in, I hang my keys here, the less time I have to do to take running around the house looking for them. Like just creating systems in all areas in life just creates a certain level of efficiency that allows you to succeed, whether that be as a parent or as a business owner. And you know, sometimes I could be so hard on myself when my systems just aren't in place. But I just feel like just like someone planted in my head to start creating those systems and stuff, and I made it a goal. It's like I'm taking little steps daily to create small systems. And I highly recommend that, like just learning like how to create systems in my life, because I feel like especially as people of color, that's not something we're always taught entirely. And it's something when I go into these organizations that are predominantly like, you know, European or white American owned and stuff like that, or all these other institutions that just are owned by these other people that I'm introduced to a different way of life by. I noticed that they're very systematic, and that's just how they are. And I think that kind of helps them almost like keep staying where they are once they get up there. And you know, system is all this country is built on, in a sense where we're not in the best place in that system, but it just also shows that systems can be effective whether they're used in a good or a bad way. So just creating systems in life, like little by little, it will definitely help you get to where you are, and it's helping me get to where I want to be as well.
Could you, for some of the people who have been joining, just and as we kind of start to begin to close out, um, say again the name of the stores and your social media and the addresses so people can start, you know, rushing to your locations this weekend?
Yes, I would love that. So again, I am Georgina Jandasek, the CEO and founder of JD Body Treats. So on my social media, you can find me mainly on Instagram at J as in joy, D as in dog, body, BODY, and treats with an STREATS. My stores are located on 156th Street and 3rd Avenue in Melrose, and 1513 White Plains Road, which is on White Plains and Archer in Parkchester area. And actually this weekend we have some pop-up shops. So I'm really excited about that. We have a pop-up shop on Saturday in the Parkchester location, and then a pop-up shop on Sunday on the 3rd Avenue location. Both of them have two different themes. Also, I'm going to be at the Melanated Expo next weekend visiting to check out all the amazing vendors. And by the way, when I was younger, I used to go to the New Life Expo. That's how I kind of got introduced into spirituality when I was about 12 years old. I used to go down by, I believe it was around the Times Square area. They used to host that. And I would just see like how full of life and energy and these amazing practitioners and the crystals and the Reiki and all of these amazing things. And I hardly ever would see another person of color there. Like it was rare. Like I probably bumped into like maybe 3 per show, but this was like back in like the 2000s where like, you know, the majority of the Black community was still mainly inside of the churches and were like kind of afraid of the holistic side of things. But, you know, luckily a lot of people still are in the churches, but learning more about the natural herbs and crystals and that it's not evil. So long story short, I think it's absolutely amazing that you're putting together something in which, you know, people from our community can experience something on the level of the New Life Expo, where a bunch of practitioners and artisans come together to share their craft, which is all a part of the Conscious Collective. But long story short, like, yeah, also this weekend we have some candle making classes. So if anybody's ever interested in what we got going on, follow us on Eventbrite, like keep checking in because we always got events. Friday, we're doing the speakeasy. And I'm probably gonna lose my voice because I lose my voice after every weekend that I have events back to back to back. But it is worth it. I just be sipping my tea on Monday morning, looking at my kids like, don't even talk to me because I can't talk. So we gonna have to speak sign language for a couple of hours.
So thank you for that commentary on that expo. So our event is a holistic event on the Black hand side. That's what someone said. That it's an event on the Black hand side. And yeah, for those very reasons that you stated, that was definitely one of the motivations for us doing this. So it's a safe space for those people who, you know, may have been in their religious institutions but were fearful, and so this is a safe space for them. So thank you for that. So it's Third Avenue and what?
Third Avenue
156.
between 156 and 157. And as soon as you
Yeah.
guys type in JD Body Treats on the, like in Google, it usually comes right up. Check out our reviews, by the way.
And that's by the 2 and 5 trains.
Yes, the 2 and 5 trains. There's a couple buses that come from there. My bad. I'm like looking up because there's this mosquito that won't leave me alone. Luckily it's in my ring light, but anyways, yeah, we're by the 2 and 5 train, and over in Parkchester we're by the 6 and the 2.
The 2 train. Okay.
Yep, it's a couple blocks away. It's a little bit of a walk, maybe like 9 minutes or so.
You're right in my
Okay.
neighborhood on Third Ave.
Yes, come visit me.
I will. I will. I just I saw the speakeasy and the sip. I am really excited. I have a little girl. Well, she's not little. She's 13, but I want her to get just out the house.
Yes.
Just out the house. So finding mommy daughter day things to do besides going to the park, I feel like that's amazing. So
That's
we will
awesome. So
definitely
yeah,
be doing that.
I would recommend the candle making or the sip and scrub or even like the pop-up shop events. However, the speakeasy event may be a bit too mature for her age, because
And that was
sometimes
for
like,
me.
you know, poets like releasing trauma, and they may say some things that maybe a 13-year-old may not want to, well, I shouldn't say should be thinking about, but I just wouldn't suggest it. But you
Oh
are
no,
more than
no.
welcome to come. I would definitely recommend that event for like 17 years of age and older. But all other events, I definitely recommend for her age group. And then also on Father's Day and Juneteenth, isn't that amazing that it fell on the same day this beautiful year? We're having an event, a self-care event that celebrates both Juneteenth and Father's Day. So it's very inclusive, meaning like, you know, not everybody does celebrate Father's Day, but if you celebrate Juneteenth, you could come through. And if you celebrate Father's Day, you can come through. And we're having like self-care demonstrations, facials, food, drinks, sip and paint, a lot of fun stuff.
So thank you for the shout out about the Melanated Soul Expo, and thank you for registering. I thought of keeping this private, but I just wanted to share that I have a manifested candle, and it will be in your gift bag, especially for you. I'm sorry it's not purple, you know, but I love it's manifested. I just love the way it's kind of, I don't know how they did it, carved it or whatever. So this is going to be in your special gold gift bag when you
That's
arrive. Just for
amazing.
you.
You know what's so funny? It's so crazy because I actually just found a vendor who makes those candles, and I literally just ordered like 5 days ago for the store because I saw them and I was like, oh my God, those are so cute. So I'm so glad that I'll be getting one before the order comes in, because I wanted one, and I don't usually take from the products that we bring into the store. Like I try to make sure the customers get first dibs. So like I'll try like a sample and stuff. But when it comes to the candles, usually like I end up selling them out before I can have them. So I'm really excited. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely. Um, oh, down in St. Louis, a care package. Okay, yes, Samantha, just inbox me your address. Okay.
I most definitely
Okay.
will. And I sent you directly my phone number and my email so that I can connect with you.
Awesome.
I will be in New York, but it won't be for a while. So my oldest child is gonna be performing at Carnegie Hall next year, and so I will be there. So I'm looking
That's
forward
amazing.
to connecting with everybody that Abner has invited. Cause she'll invite me to stuff, and I'll be like, "Does she know I'm in St. Louis? I just can't." One of these days,
I
I'll be
can
able to just hop on a plane and be like, "So where you going?" To New York. My destination
I
is
can
Ghana
forget
though.
you.
That's my destination to get to. But yeah, I definitely can't wait to come up there and like see you guys' energy, especially you, because you're definitely a big influence. You're definitely an inspiration. Just being a mama and doing like CEO. When you said CEO, like I felt it. Like just say it again. Doesn't that
Oh,
feel good? Just being
stop.
like, I'm the
Thank
CEO.
you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had to start telling myself that in the rising. Like I'm the CEO of my life, and
Yes,
everything is abundant
absolutely.
for me. Like everything, no matter what my financial situation looks like or whatever, like I have to tell myself, like they be like, your car is running. You know how much gas is? I be like, this stuff is
Right?
infinite. You know what I'm saying? It's infinite. It's gonna come, and it is what it is because I'm not getting a hot car. So it was a pleasure, and I do want to talk to you. Do want to get some of your stuff. Definitely like marketing. Like I definitely will rep you down here in St. Louis. Like
Oh, thank you, beautiful soul. I appreciate that truly.
you as well, love.
And I travel and I do pop-up shops sometimes. And I do team trips as well. So who knows? Maybe we'll get acquainted and I'll be somewhere I didn't think I'd be before.
Yeah, that would be nice because like even down here, like I have a couple people that have buildings and they literally will like give you the whole building for like $50 an hour.
That's amazing.
And that's like super, down here it's a little cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to do something down here. When I have a therapist that I want to come in, have somebody out that does like yoni steams, and like I want to have like this group of people to come in. But I also want to do it for men too, because so
Yes,
often
you
we
will.
focus on us. I have 4 boys, so I'm like I need some men to get together so we can. But I'm
Yes.
It's definitely been a goal of mine to just pull different people down to Hulu
Yes.
so we can, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
get this
that's what
thing
I
going.
currently do here. It's just that sense of community. It's very natural, and I've also had my eye on getting the men together as well. Like I was planning a men's spiritual wellness event and things like that. So I'm trying to pull them into because, like the men, our Black men, like they're so beautiful. Like there's so many beautiful spirits out there, and the way they're portrayed, it just breaks my heart. And like I love just seeing them in a different light. Like even when I had my sip and paint for Mother's Day, just seeing these Black men come paint and they little Afro ladies with the crowns. I was like, look at our Black men, they're so beautiful. So
Man,
we have so even though they may be advantaged in other ways, like they don't get to commune as much as we do, especially in topics of mental health and holistic wellness and spirituality and all of that. So we definitely got to shine some light
or
on them.
even emotions. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? We teach them
definitely.
not to
Yeah.
cry, not to this. You're soft. You soft. And for me, it's different because my oldest wants to be a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's just like, and that's fine. That's your life. But because my son cried doesn't make him a girl or doesn't make, you know what I'm saying? Like they just don't
Mhm.
be as, they can't come and give each other a hug. Like, it's like, oh, you gave you.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like they just can't
exactly.
commune the way we can commune. Because I'm kissing my friend. Like I'm kissing my friend on the cheek or on the third eye. Girl, let me give you third eye kiss. You know what I'm saying? They're not allowed to express who they are. And I'm just like, yeah, we gotta get
Yes,
something.
sad.
You need to understand your feminism. And we need to understand our feminism too, because a lot of us is masculine. I know I'm pretty masculine myself.
Yes, I was very, very masculine. Like I'm just now stepping more into my feminine side. It's weird. It's weird to me. I'm just like, oh, is this vulnerability? But it feels good. And what I've learned, just to tie it up, like about stepping from my masculinity more into like my natural feminine self is that it was only able to happen once I felt safe enough to, like I was never with a partner or with a person that made me feel safe enough to let down my masculine side, where I felt like I had to watch my back, not physically all the time, but just mentally and emotionally. So once I was with somebody who allowed me and showed me that I was in a safe space, then I was able to realize like, wow, I'm not naturally masculine. I'm actually very feminine. It's just that I had to be masculine all of this time because I was never safe, so that's another word.
And my birthday is 2 days after yours, just to let you know. It's 2 days after yours. I'm 24th to the 22nd.
Yes. And oh wow, look at that. And I also want to throw out there, it doesn't always have to take a partner for you to realize that. But in my case, it was a partner that helped me realize that.
Yeah, I feel like mine is, I don't know, I can't know if it's gonna be or not. I guess with raising children so long, as I've been raising children for almost 20 years, literally by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I know at the end of it, I want them to experience what authentic Black love is and be being feminine, because they seen me be. For them, for as much as they see me be as hardcore with their fathers and men generally, they need to see their softer side with a partner. So I know it's going to, I have to recognize it in myself first, of course, but I definitely need them to see, okay, oh, well, this is how women actually talk, because I'll curse you out and cut you down in a minute, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
I think
Yeah, and it's true because
voice
I
chiming
never
in.
saw my mom
Say it again.
piece off. I
No,
never
I
got the
said I
opportunity.
Yeah,
I thought I heard a familiar voice about to chime
that's
in, Mr.
Melvin.
Melvin.
That's Melvin. No, Samantha. Yeah, no, what you're saying is very powerful. I mean, women had to take on both roles. Women had to take on both roles because they had to protect themselves and protect their children. The system made it that way. But it's gradually it's coming back full circle. And I say to everybody, Samantha, JD, Abner, listen, stay focused on what you want to create, man. Just stay focused because you're doing it. It's not that you wish you could do it, you are actually doing it. And so as long as you stay focused on what you're doing and what you want to continue to do and not the other stuff, you feed that into existence. Just look forward, man. I know it's easy said as done, but just look forward, man. Forget the weed, choking out your roses. Forget all that crap. So that's just want to say that, ladies. I'm proud of y'all. Just keep moving forward, man. We're gonna get there. We're gonna be back in our rightful place again.
Thank you so much.
Because everybody copied the hell out of us. That's
Yeah.
it, ladies. I'm gonna sit back and listen. This is your time. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Melvin.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
This has been absolutely wonderful. I just have one question, Miss Johnson. What's the name of your business, Miss Johnson?
Oh, hi. It's called L. John and Co. It's a
Oh, that was you. Hey, girl.
Yes. Hi. So things turned a little bit, I wouldn't say left for me. I would just say our creative differences with my business partner uh, just went in different directions. I am not going to sugarcoat it. It was definitely all me because I was a very strong procrastinator and I didn't know how to turn it off, if that makes sense. Um, so I just had to sit myself down and really be very adamant about what I wanted in my life and where I wanted to go. So when we first met, I was super excited about doing it, and then I just stopped, especially out of fear, and then also because I didn't know if I was able to be in the same light as my partner. So it was a lot of twists and turns, a lot of things going on. I'm not going to go too into it, but this year I've been very somewhat consistent, and I've been putting myself out in, pop-ups here. And I told myself when I really get established or even my foot into the door that I will be contacting you to get myself in. Right now, I'm actually on your site signing up for the consignment for vendors. And so I am definitely going to put my foot into one of your pop-ups. Hopefully, it would be more than just one in the future. Like I said before, at the moment, I'm not able to do anything, but financially, I just got a sale. I just got my second sale since I've been doing this
Congrats.
year. Thank you. So with that cash, I'm actually going to move towards being a part of your vendor in the future, hopefully in July or at the end of June. I don't know yet, but I'm still working on it. But yes, right now I am shivering just saying all this stuff afterwards. It's
You
just a
are
little
such
bit
a beautiful soul. Like I
much.
remember you clearly, even though we met very briefly. Like I remember you clearly. And
Thank you.
all I can say is like if you ever have any questions, like feel free to ask me, whether that be about the pop-up shop setup, about cutting corners on cost, any questions, like you have what it takes. And I remember when you were getting up and started, you were telling me about the partnership and things like that. And partnerships are tough. Partnerships are very tough. You're dealing with different energy, but it's better when things happen early on than when they happen later sometimes. And sometimes we may not understand why these things happen, but it's okay. You know what I mean? There's always room to learn and grow and understand, but you got this, and your brand is absolutely beautiful. Like I've been watching you this whole time. I just want you to know that. Like I think you're doing an amazing job. I think you have what it takes, and I would love to be a part of that journey in any way I can help.
Jesus, you're gonna make me bawl all over this freaking phone.
Oh,
No, seriously, thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you.
I I know a lot of people say, like it's because you don't have the support system. Is that I do have the support system. It's just me that's in the way. I'm in my way. And I do little things to make sure that I'm out of my way, but sometimes it's just so heavy that it's just so weird that you can be where I am right now. If that makes any sense. Like before, you wouldn't even get me on any of these. I would just watch and be quiet, and I would text you and say, "Well, I don't really feel comfortable talking to you right now, but maybe next time." So this is a lot, and I appreciate all of you ladies for your insight, for your Samantha, for your like you're looking into my soul. The words that you're saying, like
Yeah, she's amazing.
those that is how I felt. And I just couldn't respond because you just answered and actually asked the questions that I was already going to ask. And it just made me feel like I was exactly where I was supposed to be because of what you ladies were conversing about during this time. And I'm going to do my best to really stay consistent in the things that I do. And this is not just a hobby, this is actually a lifestyle. I am a Jane of all trades. I do practically any and everything that you can think of. I build, I make with my hands, just anything that you can say. I will build you a couch right now. Like that's how I am. But when it comes to making sure that this plan is going to succeed after I make this couch, I don't know where to go from there. So
Hmm.
listening to you actually put a lot in perspective, and to just do little things. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, just a small little thing. And then maybe that small little thing will turn into a big thing. And that's what I've been seeing so far. So I'm just going to keep doing little small things and keeping myself in mind that, I am my biggest critic and I am my worst enemy on certain levels, but I can also be my
Mhm.
biggest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
appreciate you ladies a lot.
We appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My heart.
Thank you very much. This has been really, really, really wonderful. Does everyone have each other's contact information? Has everyone been following each other and friending each other?
I don't have Samantha's information.
Yes, I sent you and I sent you. I sent both of y'all my information.
Oh,
So
okay.
I didn't give you my FB. I gave you my email, but you have my phone number. And I would definitely want to get some soaps from you, young lady, or whatever it is that you do that I can purchase. I will purchase something too. It's like you gotta look at this as going global. It's cool to do it in your city, and I know like I ain't got my stuff all the way off of the ground yet at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like this. If I promote all of y'all when it's time for me to shine, I'm gonna shine. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
Mhm.
yeah, send me
Mhm.
something or whatever I can purchase, and I will put it in my budget to do it because this is what we make time and effort for things we want and we need. It's like we do. It's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I definitely look forward to getting a call from you guys, a message or something, so I can be like, oh, look what I got from New York. Look what I got from like people like that. This is St. Louis. We like stuff. I like to be different. So I like to have stuff that people don't have that way, not to keep it from people, but just to open up the the vessel to doing it outside of your comfort zone. That
Yes, exactly.
That's
so hit
good.
me up, y'all. I'm looking forward to it. If not, I'm gonna tell Abner and she'll find out.
No, I'm looking for you right now.
Well, thank you, everyone. This has been absolutely inspiring and wonderful, and I really appreciate your words of wisdom and what you've shared. So, for anyone who's watching, please go to JD Body Treats on Third Avenue between 156 and 157th, and visit the location on White Plains Road at Archer Avenue outside of Parkchester. Okay. Okay, and on Instagram, it's JD, just JD Body Treats on Instagram. So you can follow her there on Instagram. Okay, okay. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Melvin. This has been wonderful. This has been Transformation Thursday, week 82. 82, 83. Thank you so very much for being here and sharing and inspiring and motivating. Thank you all. And as always, in departing, I'd like everyone to remember that you are a spark of the divine. Okay, so everyone
Man.
have a
Hold
wonderful
on, guys.
evening.
I got a joke
Have
for
a
y'all
good
before
night.
y'all leave, okay? Just
Okay.
so
Mhm.
you can feel okay, because I'm gonna tell you, because you got three, I got four. My 3-year-old literally just took all his darn clothes off on the front line.
How old are yours, by the way?
Say it again.
He just took off all his clothes, so all he has on is his little drawers. He took
Oh,
off
it's
all his
3-year-old.
clothes
Well,
on the
he hot.
front line.
He
And
hot.
Oh my
my
gosh. I
3,
remember those days.
13, and 20. 3, 5, 13, and 20. Those
Okay, mine is 3, 5, and 6. They're like 14 and 18 months apart, and it's
boy.
crazy. It's
That
craziness.
3 and
Like I
5-year-old to give me a run for my money. You know how embarrassing that is? Like, I know they just like, but see, I teach them to ground. So sometimes they'll take their shoes and socks off and we'll come walk in the grass, so we can ground. But like all your clothes, that means you're ready for a bath, sir. Let's go.
yes,
Yes,
they're
indeed.
they're I don't know. These kids are something else, but they keep you on your toes.
I do breathe.
Absolutely.
I do breathe. But they're my ancestors.
Absolutely.
So my 5-year-old is my grandpa, and my
That's
3-year-old
amazing.
is my uncle. Literally act just like them. Literally. And I just be like, okay.
That's
Help me.
beautiful.
So I will be sending out a copy of the Zoom. Everyone will be receiving that. You know, maybe a little later. I'll be sending out the recording of the Zoom because I know I definitely want to refer to it and so much that you shared. Okay. Okay, everyone. Thank you so very much. And JD, I know I'll be seeing you next week.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm blown away. This is such an amazing experience.
And
Okay.
yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Good